Hang on. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another beautiful night here in East Lake, Ohio. I believe it's the 26th on Monday, and if you're listening right now, it is live. And of course, this is Cleveland Sports 360 with your host, LG, and I'm going to let him introduce this man. He's doing a lot of work for the Browns. Guys, take it away.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another edition of the Cleveland Sports 360 show. Welcome live in the studio with me, my buddy Paul Latkovic from the Berea Browns backers. Paul, how you doing this season, buddy?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me back.
You know,
again.
Paul had a big accident last year. We almost lost him, but God looked after you for a couple minutes and he spared you, right? You got work to do, man.
He sure did.
Like you said before the show, you may see a Super Bowl come to Cleveland, but LG may not live that long, right?
Who knows? I may not live that long either.
What a sad situation, huh, man? All we want to do is see one Super Bowl, and that's it, man. We got there almost twice with Bernie Kosar at the helm. Hey, speaking of Bernie Kosar, what do you think about this guy this year? He comes out, he tells you what he thinks of the St. Louis Rams, and then he gets ridiculed by the Cleveland Browns and Joe Banner. What's your thoughts on that, man?
I thought it was great.
I thought it was fantastic and fresh, man.
If you can't speak your opinion, then why they have them?
Why get an analyst that is not allowed to analyze anything? Is that what you're saying, man?
That's exactly what I'm saying. I have no problem with it. I don't think any of the Browns fans have a problem with it.
I thought it was fantastic, man. The Rams had a few problems with it. Jeff Fisher was being a big crybaby.
That's what the issue's under.
You know, that's the thing. You know? But Bernie, you know, Bernie's going to be Bernie, and he loves analyzing football plays, and there's no smarter guy reading a defense than Bernie Kosar was. Don't you agree?
That's true.
I mean, we were able to see Bernie play here in Cleveland. Unfortunately, Elway had his way with the Browns a couple years. The first time, that field goal was no good, man.
No, it wasn't.
Still, every time I see it, it was no good. It'll never be good. Somebody said they'll never let a Jew in the Super Bowl named Art Modell, and they didn't while he was in Cleveland. That's all I can tell you.
But he did in Baltimore.
Yes, he did. And then Ozzie got another one this last year. Speaking of the AFC North, Paul, people think the Steelers are going to be stinky this year. They think the Ravens aren't going to do anything. This is a Super Bowl champion team, man. Yeah. You know, they got a replacement for Ray Lewis. I mean, what are you going to do? I mean, they fell into that deal.
Yeah, but they've lost way too much.
What'd they lose?
Well, let's see. They lost Lewis, Reed, Kruger, Pollard. They lost like 10 guys. And replaced them like 5.
And we got Kruger.
Right. Which is not bad. I mean, he hasn't been bad this year yet.
Not bad this year, but let's talk about last Saturday night's Browns loss against the Indianapolis Colts. I knew this was coming to the Cleveland Browns. I knew that they were going to underestimate this Colts team because, you know, all they had to do, really, and I'm going to blame this one on Chazinski and company. That's what I'm doing. Watch what the Colts did to the New York Giants on Sunday night, man. They had 6 sacks of New York Giants quarterbacks, man. What did the Cleveland Browns think? It wasn't going to happen to them, Paul?
I don't know. I mean, I'm not making excuses. I can't make excuses.
Well, we shouldn't have to make excuses. We're not asking for much, man.
I just think it was a bad day and a bad time.
You know what? LG doesn't hate the Cleveland Browns. I've been a lifelong Browns fan for 54 years, man. I remember Bill Nilsson, Leroy Kelly. I remember all those guys, Jim Brown. I mean, I actually was alive and breathing when Jim Brown was winning championships here in the Cleveland area.
That's before my time.
Absolutely, it's before your time, man. I was born in 1959, so I was a young guy.
Right.
But I remember those games,
right.
man.
Well, that was like me with the 85, 86, the drive, the fumble.
Right. Broken hearts.
Oh, always broken hearts. I can't even stand watching that now in the classic reruns, man.
Well, even think about this for a minute here, man. We want a winning football season.
Yes.
I want 9-7. Am I asking for too much?
No, I'm asking for 8-8.
You know, 8-8's not a winning football season.
8-8's better than
5-11 or 4-12.
8-8 means improvement. I mean, I want to see improvement.
We were promised that's what let me down. But that's why I'm so hard on the Cleveland Browns, and it's probably a little bit unfair because the new regime with Jimmy Haslam and his people in there are not Randy Lerner and his people, which included Mike Holmgren. But
I do have a question, though.
Shoot.
This is a funny one. I was at President's Weekend, August 3rd, I think it was. I'm walking into the facility, and guess who's standing behind the door? Mike Holmgren.
Really?
Yes.
Yes, he did stop by for training camp.
I wonder if he forgot his Brett Favre bobblehead doll or something. I mean, I like what's going on. I like the chemistry they have. I like the front office now. The owner's awesome.
The owner's going to jail, man.
I'm not too sure about Lombardi. But everything around there, it looks pretty well. And it looks like they're in place. And it might take a year or two. I hate to say it, but 8-8's better than.
Can you see the Cleveland Browns producing an 8-8 2013 season?
I could see it.
You could see it coming.
I could see it coming.
You think we're going to win 8 games this year?
I think we definitely
After
win
the performance we saw Saturday night from Brandon Whedon, missing wide open receivers.
You know, everybody has an off day.
Off day? The entire team had an off day.
Yeah, true too, but
let's start with the beginning, man. Special team coverage on the first kickoff of the game.
Was not great.
Sucked.
Yeah.
The linebackers can't cover in the pass play for the Cleveland defense. We had absolutely zero pass coverage, man. That bothers me big time, man.
Have you noticed, though, in the last, 3 to 5 years, the only good thing about our defense is our red zone?
That's it.
I mean, we'll bend, but we don't break, and that's getting a little too old.
But I got to tell you something, man. We concentrated so hard on the pass rush in this offseason, we thought to ourselves, and then don't forget Mingo's out. And, you know, we don't really know the full extent of Mingo's injury, but when you get a bruised lung from a rib injury that took place, this could have been a broken rib for all we know that could have almost punctured his lung. Yep. You could die from that.
Oh, yeah. He's going to be hurting for a while.
We don't even know how long it's going to be until we see our first-round draft pick.
I mean, I've had broken ribs, and I've had bruised ribs. I'd rather have a broken rib than a bruised rib.
Absolutely.
Those bruised ribs hurt forever.
But let's talk about Bartavius Mingo for a minute, Paul. The guy is a great speed additive to the Cleveland Browns defense.
Yes, he is.
But does he have the size needed to compete in the NFL? And when I'm asking this question, I'm saying this guy was blocked on a special teams play, and he got this injury that costed him 2 days in the hospital.
Well, that's their fault for putting him on special teams.
Well, that's a coaching error.
That's a coaching error.
You know how they do rookies.
I think he can do well. It all depends on how they use him. For years, when we had Courtney Brown, I thought he'd be a better outside linebacker than a defensive end.
Right.
I thought he'd be a great pass rusher. Bring him off on the outside. Bring him up to the line. Drop him back a little bit. I think he'll do all right. They just got to know how to use the players right. And this regime's starting to look
guaranteed you're not probably going to see him on kick coverage.
No, I hope not.
But you know how they do rookies. I mean, the guy's a rookie. They're going to put anybody out there on the field that they think is capable of making a play. And with his speed, you can't blame somebody for wanting to try him out on kickoff coverage.
That is true. But, I mean, he's your number 1 draft pick.
Now, when you start battling with guys that weigh 330 or 345 pounds.
What are you trying to say?
You know, well, you're a big guy, man. But getting into this offensive line that he has to penetrate through, and especially with this rib injury, they're going to have to definitely design some kind of special flak jacket to protect Mingo's ribs. So
if not, he's going to be down and out.
Guaranteed, if Mingo was in the game Saturday night, he potentially, and I'm saying potentially, could have made a slight difference getting to Andrew Luck on a couple of those plays.
Yes, potentially.
Man. I mean, we did hurry Luck, we did rush Luck, but one thing you got to say about Andrew Luck was he picked the Browns' defense apart with his pass plays. He doesn't panic under the pressure like we saw a couple of plays coming out of Brandon Whedon with the panic in his eyes, man. Now, you can teach somebody some things about reading defenses, and you can teach somebody some things about maybe finding a touch on a football, but you can't teach the courage needed to stand there and take the hit and delivering that football at the last minute.
That is true. And we're talking about Andrew Luck, though. I mean, this kid was phenomenal last year. He's going to be I hate to say it, he's going to be phenomenal in Indianapolis for years to come. Well,
that's why they were so willing to give up one of the greatest NFL quarterbacks of all time. And I think when it's all said and done, arguably we can say that Peyton Manning is one of the greatest quarterbacks.
Peyton Manning is definitely one of the greatest quarterbacks, but look at Indianapolis. They went from a winning season to a losing season to winning the division and going back in the playoffs.
Exactly.
With a rookie
in a rookie year.
And a rookie quarterback.
Well, let's talk about that for a minute, Paul.
If everybody sits back and thinks you had RG3, Luck, Wilson, and you had Kaepernick, 4 rookies make it to the playoffs last year.
Well, you can't consider Kaepernick was on the team.
Right, but Kaepernick took him through the playoffs to the Super Bowl. So he's still a rookie.
Right.
I mean, any other team who threw a rookie in that position was not going to
Well, I'll venture to say you'll never, ever see history repeat itself where you have 3 pure rookies taking their teams to the playoffs in the NFL. It's never going to happen again. This was a hell of a nice draft they had, and the Cleveland Browns picked Brandon Weeden with their first 22nd pick in the first round. We missed out on RG3.
We were together.
That's right, we were.
We were together that night.
I remember you throwing stuff across the room.
I did when they picked Richardson. I did when they picked him. Even J-Rock was a little mad on that one, I think.
Absolutely. J-Rock from the Sports Fix. Every day, 12 to 1 p.m., you can catch the Sports Fix now 5 days a week.
He was ready. I think he was ready to beat up everybody.
Oh, he was pissed, man. He was definitely pissed. Well, we got the season we expected because we were together on draft night 2012, and we knew putting Weeden in there wasn't the answer to the prayers of the Clevelanders wishing for. And as we started to talk in the beginning of the show, the thing that really irked me, Paul, was they promised us Mike Holmgren, even though he's not here anymore, we really couldn't hold him responsible.
Right.
He promised us after the pick we were going to have a better season last year. Remember that?
Yeah, we I was out to breakfast the other morning, and I sat down and I talked to a couple of my buddies who were in a fantasy league together. And honestly, if you go back and look at last year's schedule, there's only about 5 to 6 games we were close in winning. 7 points or less losses. That's... You change 2 or 3 of those games, you're at 7-9.
Absolutely.
8-8.
But that doesn't work. I mean, we still lost them. I mean,
you could
say
them.
We could change them all you want. We could change. Let's change the fact that Elway's drive beat us and we were in the Super Bowl.
I'm not saying. I'm just saying, though, is if you look at it, at one point last season, they were competitive.
Oh, we were a competitive football team, but we couldn't get the dagger in and twist it, man.
Or we had it there and we gave it away.
And then, if you want to look at it like that, let's look at a couple of the games we won. Pittsburgh Steelers creating all those turnovers. How many times are you going to see that in your lifetime?
Not much.
I mean, it wasn't. I shouldn't say the Pittsburgh Steelers creating it. I'll say the Pittsburgh Steelers turned the balls over. Yeah. It was the hard-hitting Cleveland defense that created the turnovers. But that's something you've never seen in your life.
No, I've seen it once, and that was a few years ago at the stadium when they sacked Roethlisberger 8 or 9 times that one game.
Right, but I'm saying you normally don't see that happening coming from the Pittsburgh Steelers running game. So that helped us win that game. The Cincinnati Bengals game, they lost that game and gave it to the Cleveland Browns because if we didn't have the turnovers near the end of that game, do you really think the Cleveland Browns would have pulled that off?
No.
So there's 2 wins right there that we probably
could have lost, But
so, that gives us 3 and freaking 13.
True.
You can look at it both ways. But, a win's a win. When you put the W in the column, it stays there, man. Yeah. You can't put an L in there later. It's a win's a win.
I'm just saying, I mean, we talked about this last year, LG, and, these games, they get draining on yourself when you lose so much.
It's drained me. I'm beyond drained.
Now it looks like it's getting a little better. I mean, there's actually sunshine coming through the horizon for us.
Well, let's hope it stays that way. We're going to take a short break. We're going to come back with more of the Cleveland Sports 360 show in a couple minutes with our special guest, Paul Latkovic from the Berea Browns backers. Don't turn that dial. Don't forget the phone lines are open, 216-672-4300 if you want to call in and talk some Cleveland Browns football.
Yeah, call in. Let's have some fun.
Hey, remember, folks, we got the Brown season coming up. We're all excited. And remember to go to foreverdogs.com. Is that right, LG? Help me out.
It's just forever.com.
And that is the number 4. They got some great sports stuff there that you can wear. We're showing them on the screen right now. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Cleveland Sports 360 show with your host, LG, and our special guest, Paul Latkovic, president of the Berea Browns backers. Guys, take it away.
Hey, welcome back to the Cleveland Sports 360 show. As Leaf just told you, our special guest tonight, Paul Latkovic, the president of the Berea Browns backers. Paul, you got a big event coming up in Cleveland right before the first home game against the Miami Dolphins. Tell the viewers out there a little bit about it, will you?
Well, we're having a pig roast. We're going to call it our first annual prep rally. Being in Berea, we have two high schools, Mid Park and Berea. They've been a rival for 75 years. This year, they combined both high schools to one. So it's Berea Mid Park Titans. We decided, being in the community, that we would like to support the local football team. So we're putting on a pig roast September 7th from 5 to 8. It's $25, all you can eat and drink. We're going to have special guest Reggie Langhorn, Felix Wright, Fox Lopez from East L.A. Browns fans coming out with the wife to support us.
Fox Lopez.
We're gonna
Woohoo! Yeah!
So we got a bunch of the Browns backers coming out too. I got Fostoria Browns backers. I've got Burrow Dogs. I got Burrow Browns backers. You name it, they're coming. It's gonna be a big event.
Now tell everybody where the event takes place, man.
The event will be at 850 Front Street, Scoundrels Bar and Grill in Berea. It's right before training camp. You can't miss it. If you hit the bridge to go to the facility, you passed us up.
Well, I got to tell you, man, I've been to one of these events that Paul Latkovic and the Berea Browns backers put together last year. It was a phenomenal time at the pig roast.
It was clam bake last year.
Yeah, the clam bake, that's right. But this year I'm looking forward to the pig roast.
We all are.
Yeah, the clam bake was phenomenal, man. I ate some good clams. I had some chicken, too, I think. And it was great. It was great food, great drinks, great time, great people. You had some 50-50 raffles taking place. You got some stuff to raffle off this year.
This year we got some nice raffle prizes. We're going to have a 50-50 raffle, and we're going to do a sideboard for 2 tickets to a Browns game this season. Game not known yet. You'll be sitting section 119, row 17, right in the dog pound, lower bowl.
And don't forget, folks, this is $25 per person, all you can drink. This includes well drinks, beer, and wine.
And wine and soda for anybody who doesn't drink.
So it could be booze, it could be wine, it could be beer, and you get the pig and everything else.
Everything else. It's all you can eat pig, too. And the thing is that unlike other clubs, which I'm not saying any names, I don't charge for autographs. You pay your $25, you get in line, you get your autograph, you get your autograph. Simple as that.
There you have it, folks. Come on out and meet Reggie Langhorn, former Browns receiver, and Felix Wright, which is a big-time guy out of the Cleveland secondary in the days back when we had a solid secondary, man. Some guys that could make some big plays back there. Now we're a little bit worried, and some people are even starting to question the capabilities of T.J. Ward this year.
Did you hear Sports Talk Radio today at all?
No, not a bit.
Somebody tweeted, which I got on my tweet, that we should bring Cribbs back and prep him as a quarterback or defensive back.
Well, the people don't realize what they're saying because Joshua Cribb, unfortunately, had knee surgery this past offseason right after the Pro Bowl. A lot of people didn't even realize Cribbs had knee surgery. And from what I'm understanding out of Oakland, and I got some close ties to the Oakland Raiders, Josh Cribbs' knee really hasn't rehabilitated the way that Josh Cribbs and the doctors thought his knee was going to rehabilitate.
You know what? Then he's got the wrong doctors.
Well, obviously.
Because look at RG3. He's ready to go.
Well, look at RG3 and look at Josh Cribbs.
True.
What I want to say is you're not even taking a chance with RG3. And we'll go one step deeper in that. We'll go to Adrian Peterson.
Well, yeah.
You know, the guy rips out his ACL and his MCL, and you see him come back and damn near get Dickerson's record last year, and he's got his goal set this year at 2,500 yards. Man.
Oh, he was amazing last year, wasn't he?
Yeah, amazing. And, you know, you didn't even see him. Last night was the San Francisco 49ers against the Minnesota Vikings, and you didn't even see Adrian Peterson carry that football one time. As a matter of fact, he ran in a couple of pass plays, and that was it. They took him right off the field. He didn't even need to take a shower. Hey, big shout-out to Colt McCoy, who was just named officially the backup quarterback for the San Francisco 49ers today. Shortly before we went on the air, they made it official, Paul.
He deserves it.
I know Harbaugh said last night after the game, Colt McCoy was going to be the second-string quarterback behind Colin Kaepernick for the 49ers this season, and Harbaugh said he felt damn good about naming Colt McCoy the backup quarterback. You know what? That just irks me a little bit, Paul, because, you know, we talked before we went on.
Right.
We had Tim Couch here, and you know as well as I do that Cleveland Browns ruined Tim Couch's career. We had absolutely zero offensive line.
True.
When Tim Couch was playing for the Cleveland Browns.
I bring this up, like I'll say, we were talking, I said, you know, if he had a line in 07 for Couch, and when he was here, he would have been an awesome quarterback. And people say, oh, no. I said, what about David Carr? He was sacked, 58 times one season with the Texans?
Right.
They ruined his career. That guy, when he saw the defender coming at him, he actually closed his eyes when he took a hit because he knew he was in trouble.
Yeah, I believe it, man. And people don't realize, obviously you're not talking to true football fans when you make this statement that put the 2007 line in front of Tim Couch and what a production this guy would have had. People don't know football because we had zero offensive blocking capabilities for the pass play back when Couch was playing. How many times did we see Couch laying on his back,
not even
winching in pain, man?
What did our average year's rushing be? It was like 700 yards, I think.
Right.
800 yards. They didn't even break 1,000.
Yeah,
with multiple running backs. It's horrible. It's horrible.
Yeah, it was horrible.
But I'll say good shout-outs to Colt McCoy. I've always been a fan. I thought you were going to do great things in Cleveland. Unfortunately, they let you go. I hope you do well in San Francisco.
I think he's going to do well. And if you watched him play, which I did, I watched every play of the game last night. And I got to tell you something, man. He had one drive coming down the field. He got a couple of helping calls. 91-yard drive. There was a couple of face masks involved. So that was a 15-yard personal foul. But I got to tell you, other than that, McCoy drove this team down the field. He completed some nice passes. He really had some good things happening in the first half. He ended up throwing one interception in the game. But what kills me is another Cleveland talent that we can't use here in Cleveland, but yet a Super Bowl quality team can see the talent in a guy like Colt McCoy, man.
Yeah, we're also talking about Harbaugh, too. I mean, he's a great coach. Both Harbaughs are, I hate to say it.
Oh, it was the Super Bowl matchup last year.
I mean, if you look at...
And not only was Jim Harbaugh a great coach for the 49ers, he was a great quarterback, too.
Well,
the guy knows what he's doing.
If I had two men stay in the room and one is Pat Shurmur and one is Harbaugh, I'm going to go talk to Harbaugh.
How about one is Jim Harbaugh and one is Rob Chibzinski? What do you do then?
I'd talk to Harbaugh.
Absolutely. So let's talk about the Cleveland Browns' new coaching staff. Harbaugh obviously was already employed, so there was no chance of Jimmy Haslam and Joe Banner roping this guy into the deal. Somehow they blew the Chip Kelly deal, which I don't think was that big of a deal.
I was a Chip Kelly fan at Oregon. I was kind of a fan when he was coming here, but we don't have the offensive scheme he was looking for.
Right.
Even with Brandon Weeden, we've been drafting quarterbacks for the next 5 years trying to get the right scheme. He's perfect in Philly with Vic.
And I'll tell you, Nick Foles looks pretty good in the last game, too.
Yeah.
So either if Vic can get the job done or not, he's got Foles to fall back on. But I'm gonna tell you something, man, right now. When you think about the Browns coaching staff and you think about a Rob Chibzinski as a head coach, his first NFL head coaching career, I feel semi-comfortable knowing he brought Norv in with him, and he brought in Ray Horton.
Yes.
Okay? But let's talk about Rob Chibzinski's time with the Carolina Panthers. He had a great quarterback by the name of Cam Newton down there, and they didn't win with Rob Chibzinski being the offensive coordinator.
True.
Man. Do we have the right guy in place that we think can lead this Cleveland Browns team to some victories?
I'm more comfortable with him than I was with Shurmur.
Well, absolutely.
So I would think yes. I think with the foundation he has behind him, I think we can.
Why couldn't Norv make a couple adjustments in Saturday night's game to get something happening, man? Why would he want his offense to struggle as poorly as they did?
Sometimes that comes on the head coach, too, though. You got to admit, it does. I mean, it's all up to Rob. Norv can say what he wants, but if Rob tells you no, it's no.
Well, they should have did something to put some offensive points on the board other than a couple of field goals, don't you think?
I'm used to a couple of field goals already.
And let's hope it doesn't come down to a couple field goals
I hope not.
and the weather starts to change with our guy over there.
Here's the thing,
our guy over there in San Francisco this year kicking field goals for Jim Harbaugh.
Here's the thing, LG. We did 2 preseason games, 17 points each game, first half. First team offense. Everybody's pumped and ready to go. They slumped. It happens. I mean, they're a professional team. They should be 6 points, but it happens.
But not only did the offense slump, the entire team slumped.
Yes, the entire team did.
And that's where I place a little bit of the blame on Rob Chudzinski, who came out today and said, the Browns loss Saturday night is a good learning experience. Well, pardon me, Mr. Chudzinski, but we do not need to learn how to lose anymore. We're pretty good at that.
We don't as fans. And he doesn't understand that. But I think when you have 2 good games like you do in the preseason, and then you get 1 game like you did Saturday night, it does humble those players.
Well, let's talk about the 2 games. They weren't as good as people are giving them credit for. Because,
but when your first-team offense puts up 17 points in the first half, and you're not used to seeing that for years.
But Joe Thomas came right out and he said that the Rams defense didn't even show up for that game, that the Cleveland Browns were allowed to do anything that they wanted to do during that Rams game. Now, you don't see that happen with the Detroit Lions when they took on Tom Brady.
No.
I mean, they kicked the hell out of the New England.
40-9?
40-9, yeah. They kicked the hell out of Brady and the New England Patriots.
I hate to say it, that New England team's spiraling down.
Yeah, well, how long do you think they could be good? I mean, they were dominant force for years.
Well, they lost.
They lost some great players with Wes Welker going to Denver, and I mean, the Gronkowski's hurt, right?
You got a murderer.
You got the guy that shot people and he's in jail. Aaron Hernandez.
Your three top
Those are 3 big producers.
Are gone.
Man. 3 big targets.
You get rid of what it was. Danny. What was his name? The little running back.
Amendola?
No, the running back.
What
Buffalo or something. What the heck was his name? Little white kid that ran out of the backfield. He used to play for the Jets.
I can't even remember his name.
He left. He's somewhere. These guys have nothing left. I mean, when Brady hurt his knee that 1 game, they're all going, oh, no, here we go.
It was all going to fall on the shoulders of Tim Tebow.
Hey, you know what? Cleveland, I'm glad that's 1 guy you never took.
Thank God for the
Tebow is nothing. And I'll tell it to anybody's face, he is not a quarterback. He's a superb athlete, but he's not a quarterback.
Well, we're going to come back with more of the Cleveland Sports 360 show. Our special guest, Paul Latkovic, Berea Browns backers president. Don't forget, he's got a great pig roast coming up September 7th, the day before the home opener against the Miami Dolphins. When we come back, we're going to tell you how to get your hands on some of those beautiful tickets to attend this pig roast. We'll be right back with more of the Cleveland Sports 360 show in about 2 minutes and 30 seconds.
That we want
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, all you Cleveland Brown fans out there, we're having a great conversation tonight with our friend Paul Latkovic, the president of the Berea Browns backers, and of course our host, LG. Guys, take it away.
Hey, welcome back to the Cleveland Sports 360 show. Our special in-house guest tonight, Paul Latkovic, all the way from the Berea Browns backers. Paul's got a great event coming up September 2nd to kick off this 2013 football season with the Browns' new coaches. Paul, tell them one more time about this fantastic pig roast you guys are going to be putting on, man.
All right, we're going to do a charity event for the local high school football team. 25 all-you-can-eat and drink pig roast. Special guest, Reggie Langhorne, Felix Wright. Fox Lopez, all the way from California, is coming out to hang out with us for the home opener.
East Los Angeles Browns
East
fans.
Los Browns fan.
I'll tell you right
Great
now,
man.
if you never talk to Fox and you don't know Fox, you're going to be in for a real treat to come out and meet Fox Lopez.
We got great raffle prizes, door
And his
prizes.
wife, Lala, too.
Lala will be there, too.
Great people, man.
You can go to 850 Front Street in Berea, right by the airport, pick up tickets. You can hit me directly on Facebook. It's Berea Browns Backers, or you can do BereaBrowns@gmail.com. Or you can call me directly, 216-333-5989, and me or one of my officers will come out and meet you and sell you some tickets.
$25, all you can eat pig roast and all you can drink. That's you better bring a designated driver.
Oh, yeah.
From 5 to 8 p.m., right?
Did you see that I made the news the other night?
Which did?
I did. I made it Thursday night's home game.
No, I missed it, man.
Yeah, they did that, what is it, Drive Sober, Get Pulled Over campaign.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
They got signs everywhere about this now.
Yeah, Channel 3 put us on the news.
Were you sober?
No, I guess I made a comment. They said drink responsibly. I looked at my buddy. I said, "Do you drink responsibly?" I said, "Because I know I don't." But yeah, no, designated drivers are great. If anybody's coming from out of town, Marriott West 150th in Cleveland, use our name, Berea Browns backers. $99 a night plus tax.
There you have it, folks. Not only can you come to an all-you-can-eat pig roast for $25 a guy or woman, you can get a ticket to the motel. You can go to the motel and get a discount, too.
And I'm pretty sure.
How can you beat it,
And
man?
I'm pretty sure if you're staying at the Marriott, they will shuttle you to the bar because it's right around the corner. It's a 5-minute drive
You
down
gotta
the
love
highway.
it. You gotta love it, man. Check in early, get down there, go to the bar, go to the Scoundrels. Obviously, you just told people they can catch you at the Berea Browns backers on Facebook. They can call the number, but you will have a few at the door, right?
I will have door sales. The thing is with the door sales is so many people are coming from out of town that it's going to be hectic at the door. So we're thinking we might open the doors a half an hour to 45 minutes early just for door sales. Just so we can get everybody in the place.
So get there about 4:15 if you don't have a ticket and you're
Right.
thinking about buying them at the door. Of course, you're saving LG a top-notch table, right, man?
Oh, always.
Always, man.
Don't I?
Absolutely.
And if you know you're making it for sure, you can always call me, message me on Facebook, say, hey, my name is this. I'd like this many tickets. I'll put them at will call. So all you got to do is walk up and say, I got 4 tickets. Here's my money. Get your armbands and get in.
There you have it, folks. Don't miss this event. It's going to be a great time. It's going to be great music, great people, great food. 2 Browns alumni will be there signing autographs, talking a little bit. It's a good time, man. All you can eat, all you can drink at the Scoundrels in Berea.
Oh, it's a blast.
Coming back, we're talking about a little Browns and the Indianapolis Colts. Obviously, it was the worst showing that the Browns as a team had in the 2013 campaign. Paul, what can we expect from this Cleveland Browns team heading into the Chicago Bears game,
I
man?
don't think you're going to see anything. I don't think anybody's going to start.
Oh, no. I don't know if you heard this or not today, but Jasinski says all the starters are definitely going to play Thursday night, at least for the first quarter. Every single starter will be in the football game because Jasinski came out this afternoon and he made a statement that these guys obviously still need work. And who can doubt that?
You know what?
I
I hope so. Let's see it. I mean,
the Browns are now favored in the game by 1 point. Over the Chicago Bears.
Yeah, because it's going to be the 1s versus the 3s and 4s and the 5s.
So you don't think Chicago's going to play any starters?
They might play a few for 1-2 series, half a first quarter.
But the Cleveland Browns are definitely going to play their starters.
You know, if they would have won Saturday night, he wouldn't have been saying that.
No, as a matter of fact, the original plan was not to play any of the starters.
Right.
But with the showing the Cleveland Browns had, they laid an egg on the field. Is the way
Yeah, and I
one
don't want
guy
to hear any
put it.
excuses. It was the AstroTurf. I've been hearing that all day. Oh, things slow down. You don't have your timing right. I don't care.
Actually, the AstroTurf's a faster surface, man.
You get paid millions of dollars to play a game that we all played as kids.
It wasn't like a lot of these guys never played at Lucas County Stadium before because the Cleveland Browns took on the Indianapolis Colts last year and damn near beat them. People want to drop the pass on Gordon. You know, what people don't realize is we have to play the first 2 games of the 2013 season without our leading receiver, Josh Gordon.
Yeah, that's...
Brandon Whedon's overall quarterback rating dropped 40 points after Saturday night. He had a 139 rating. He's down to 99.2 today. Jason Campbell is actually rated in total quarterback rating right now 4 spots higher than Brandon Whedon.
I will say this. The one nice thing I saw in that game was that hit Greg Little did after that catch.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, he drilled that guy.
Oh, yes, he did. Greg Little is a beast. I mean, we all know Greg Little's a beast.
You know, without Gordon, I hope he steps up these first 2 games. He needs to step up.
Well, somebody's going to have to step up because...
and it better be him, because if not, you'll be out of Cleveland next year, too.
Oh, he's already skating on thin ice, this Josh Gordon, man.
I'm talking about Little, too.
Yeah.
You keep on dropping balls like you've been doing those last 2 years, they're going to get rid of you quicker than you can believe.
Well, we saw a great improvement in Greg Little
yeah.
at the end of last season,
Yes,
man.
he did better.
You know, I would say midway through the season, Greg Little really started producing. And let's give Greg Little a little credit. He took time off in the offseason, and he went out to Oklahoma, and he worked with Brandon Whedon one-on-one.
Right. Well, they got rid of Norwood today.
Yeah.
They released him.
That's unbelievable. We didn't even hardly see Norwood being used. And,
not at all.
You know, there's a guy there that could have did punt returns. He could have did kick returns. Of course, with Travis Benjamin, maybe we're not thinking we need anybody else. But you got to remember injuries, man.
Yeah,
Norwood was a great possession receiver. He reminded me a little bit of a Brian Brennan on third down, man. So that's where you needed a guy like Norwood. I don't think that this team's thinking seriously about having some backups like a guy like Norwood. That's a guy somebody's going to pick up this.
Oh,
he's not going to be out there long.
No, you might see him in New England.
Yeah, they need something, man. Like we just said before the break, we got, what were you saying, Danny Woodhead?
Danny Woodhead. We got
Gronkowski's hurt. Hernandez is in prison. I don't think they're ever going to let him out.
No, I think he's done.
And
I hate to say it, and I don't care how people react to this. Hernandez, you're an idiot.
Oh, he is an idiot.
You're a bona fide idiot. When you look up idiot in a dictionary, it's your picture.
How could you not say the guy's an idiot? He threw away a $42 million contract. He had the world by the short ones, man.
Oh, you know what the problem is? His name wasn't Ray Rice. That's why he didn't get away with it.
You know.
You
mean Ray Lewis?
Oh, Ray Lewis, yeah.
Right.
Oh, sorry, Ray Rice. I still got you in my fantasy.
You just convicted Ray Rice. He didn't even do nothing wrong, man.
No.
Too many Rays.
I got him, man. I got to release him this year.
But what do you think? Seriously, man, we're coming in against the Chicago Bears. We're going to play the first stringers, and you're thinking the Bears are not going to put any of their first stringers in this?
They might. I mean, they might put a couple. I don't think you're going to see their quarterback playing. Their offensive line. I mean, it's going to be.
So definitely, if Cleveland Browns come out with a win against the Chicago Bears and they're playing third and fourth string guys and third and second string guys, you really can't bank too much on a win.
No,
like
people are
that.
going to be talking still.
Yeah.
Let's just get the season going. Let's get these Dolphins in down here at the lake. Let's throw them in the lake area and let's have some fun. Let's ride them home.
Here's the thing that bothers me, man. We did nothing so far. Hopefully something's going to break any minute that we're going to pick up somebody to fill some holes on the offensive line, man. We still got a little injury problem on the offensive line. We tried to pull off the trade. It didn't work out. We got rid of that guy. We called the deal off. They try to pull a fast one.
I mean, but I don't know if anybody knows. Is it me or since Steinbach has left, that line has just dropped?
No, it's not just you. It's definitely the truth.
He was a beast at guard with Joe Thomas.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate because
they could open a line a semi could drive through. That hole was big enough a semi can come through there. Most of those games.
And what about Pashos too? What about him?
He's okay.
I mean,
these guys.
But don't forget, he's gone too.
Yeah.
He had that foot injury. He played the entire season on a bad foot.
And that's the kind of guy we want.
Right. Not a guy like Whedon.
Lombardi, listen, we want tough, working people.
Like I seen a guy posted when Whedon missed the game against the Pittsburgh Steelers, the final game of the season. He says, nobody misses a game if you're not in the hospital or not in the emergency room. You haven't been hit by a truck. You don't miss a game against the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Now, the question is, how many people in the hospital are getting discharged to go home and watch that game just to go back the next day? Have a heart attack on Friday, come home, see the game on Sunday, have another heart attack Sunday night, and go back to the hospital.
Well, that's the thing. They got TVs in the hospital, man. So,
be watching it like what was that? Hoosiers.
Bring in my defibrillator. I'm watching the Browns play the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Wasn't it Hoosiers? Back in the old basketball.
Oh,
movie.
yeah,
Guys in the hospital,
right.
jumping around. Even Major League when the skipper went in the hospital,
Right.
he's bouncing up and down on the bed.
Yeah, and they had to calm him down, give him a shot. But I'll tell you, I'm a little concerned with the Browns this coming season, man. I'm hoping for a winning season, man. I want to see 9-7.
I spent last year's draft with you. I did a show midway through the season with you, and actually, I feel better this year than I did last year. I really do. I feel that we're up and coming. Today, NFL Live, I was telling LG earlier, Jerome Bettis said Cleveland's on the rise. Watch out for him.
We're on the rise, but are we going to rise in the 2013 season? What did Bennett say?
He said that
the bus.
The bus said that Weed needs one more year after this year. This is not his year. We can't wait that long. But he also said we will be contenders within the next year or two with the front office we put in. He believes that the AFC North is going to be a tough division to beat this year and from now on.
But the Browns won't be a contender in 2013, according to this guy.
No, not really. But, here's the thing, though, and I know he's not lying because he put Cincinnati ahead of Pittsburgh this year.
How could you not?
He said the only thing they need to do is build that confidence that we can do it.
I got to tell you something. Cincinnati made the playoffs last year, and they really should have did a lot better in the game that they were in the playoffs. But they screwed a couple things up. Andy Dalton's not really having that great of a preseason, man.
No, but when you got the wide receiver group,
and that's what I was thinking too. The wide receivers that surround Andy Dalton in Cincinnati, obviously, they're not in the top season form yet. It's preseason, but I guarantee you, when the first game of the season,
I'll take AJ Green over anybody else.
We always pass up those kind of guys here in Cleveland. I don't know if you've noticed that or
we
not,
always
man.
do. But you know what? Hopefully it changes.
Julio Jones. Who else, man? I mean, there's a lot of great guys that we should have took that we didn't take. I think we could have took A.J. Green, but is that the draft we did something else and took a defensive player in?
I think we took because we.
I think we could have got A.J. Green, but we skated
and Julio
over
Jones.
him.
We scooted over him.
Right.
Oh no, it was Julio Jones. We gave away we got an extra first round draft pick from Atlanta for him.
And then we used it on Whedon. Hey, we're going to be right back.
Doesn't look good now,
No, it doesn't. We're going to be right back with more of the Cleveland Sports 360 show. Paul Latkovic, president of the Berea Browns backers, right after this message.
Ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the fourth quarter of the Cleveland Sports 360 show with your host, LG. Guys, go ahead, take it away.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Cleveland Sports 360 show. Our special in the studio guest tonight, Paul Latkovic from the Berea Browns backers, who's got a great event coming up September 7th. Tell them one more time, man. It's the last quarter of the show. You might as well get it in.
We're going to do it one more time. It's at 850 Front Street, Scoundrels in Berea, Ohio, by the airport. 25 all you can eat and drink. Beer, wine, pop. Reggie Langhorn, Felix right on hand, signing autographs. Fox Lopez, East L.A. Browns fan, will be in the house with his wife. Come on out, support the local high school football team. Let's have some fun.
Can you imagine that? A pig roast, all you can eat, $25, and all you can drink. So you better bring a designated driver with you. Them cops out there in Berea will be on the lookout that night for anybody that's escaping onto the roads. They got this new campaign, drive sober or get pulled over, right? You see the signs everywhere nowadays. Hey, we're talking Cleveland Browns football before the break, and Paul came out tonight to shed a little light on how he felt watching what happened to the Cleveland Browns Saturday night in Minneapolis.
It started off nice, it was a nice night.
Then they kicked off the ball.
Yeah. Let's put it this way. I was at, and I'm going to give a shout out to my buddy Scott with the Muni Lot Browns backers. We were doing his 6th annual luau party. We had a big screen, projector, everything. Everybody's sitting around having fun. As soon as that ball kicked off and we started losing, the drinks were flowing. It was just bad. I mean, the thing is, you get used to it, though, living in Cleveland. From the Indians, the Cavs, the Browns. Heck, the only good sports team we got are the Lake Erie Monsters.
Now, let me ask you something, man. Let's talk about the Indians and the Browns for a minute. Which team do you think is going to break through and get to the playoffs first?
Well, I heard
Cleveland Browns or the Cleveland Indians?
I'm going to take the Cleveland Indians. Tonight, root on your Indians. Detroit versus the Oakland A's. We're only a game and a half behind the Oakland A's for the wild card. 6 behind Detroit.
This damn Detroit team won't start losing, though, man.
No, but here's the catch. Who do you root for tonight? Detroit or the A's?
You got to root for the A's.
Yeah, well, I mean, it gives you 6 games. Well, we're 6 games behind Detroit and a game and a half behind them for the wild card. So, do you want to scoot in the playoffs or do you want to go for the division?
I go for the division.
I'm going for the playoffs. I'm rooting for Detroit tonight. I hate to say it.
Well, this wild card thing, and correct me if I'm wrong, man, because, this has only been around for a couple of years in the Major League Baseball. But the Cleveland Indians could get into the wild card. Like you said, we're a game and a half behind in the wild card. These damn Detroit Tigers won't start losing some frickin' baseball games. We got a 3-game set coming up with them right after we're done with the Atlanta Braves. And I got to tell you the truth, Paul, I'm a little concerned about the Cleveland Indians taking on the Atlanta Braves. What if Colonel Custer shows up down there? Tries to take over. You got the Braves versus the Indians, man. Yeah. But seriously, this Braves team is not going to be a pushover for the Cleveland Indians.
First place division.
Absolutely, man. They're a tough team, and they won a lot of ball games early on this year. They've been winning. They're a consistent team. And what we're missing out of the Cleveland Indians right now, I think we could use one more bat.
Yep.
And we need some bullpen help.
Yeah,
definitely. The Braves got all their T's crossed and their I's dotted. They got guys that can produce runs, and they got guys that can shut down offenses with their arms.
But when you got a Triple Crown winner on your team, you got Verlander. What's the other guy's name? He went 13-0 this year so far. Has he even lost
Max
yet?
Scherzer.
Yeah, has he lost yet?
Yeah, he lost.
So what is he, 15-1?
As a matter of fact, the Rangers beat him.
Right, so he's like 15-1.
Yeah.
There's your Cy Young winner. But Detroit, I'll give you mad props. That baseball team is tough. But
they spent a lot of money to get there too, man.
They are what we were in the 90s. That's what they are now.
Right. They spent a lot of money to put it there.
So did Cleveland last year. I'll give them that. I'll give the Dolans this. You did go out and you didn't lie to us, and you did put a team together that actually is fun to watch. I've been to 2 games.
Well, we're 71-59. I mean, so we're 12 games over 500. A lot of people said this team's only going to be a 500 ball team. Hopefully we'll stay where we're at, and we'll keep excelling.
In the playoff contention race,
right?
Being a wild card,
right?
That's all that matters right now. Now, if Detroit if Detroit loses 3 against us and loses 3 against Oakland, I'll be happy.
If our offense can just get consistent and produce the same kind of stuff we saw not yesterday but the day before That's the thing. We're streaky. We're streaky on the offensive side of the baseball right now. And then when we get into some close competitions, we saw a couple fielding errors coming out of, Nick Swisher. We're paying him $56 million, man.
I'll tell you who needs some help on that team is our closer. He needs to get his drug case fixed.
Or smoke more.
Well, he lost that, what was it, a few weeks ago, he lost that game in the ninth inning.
Right.
Was it Detroit? Because I went to the game the next
day. Perez, I don't think is anywhere
hurt.
Close to what he was last year. And I think some of the problems and some of the things that he's been through this season has to be wearing on him a little bit. But, I would say the Indians are closer than the Cleveland Browns are, too, man. It's a shame that we have to say that. There's only 16 football games. There's 162 baseball games. Obviously, baseball is not the physical beating that football is. Speaking of physical beatings, don't you think that the NFL screwed this whole thing up a little bit with this new collective bargaining agreement a couple years ago? I mean, you got no two-a-days. These guys are working like they're in a freaking country club, man. They work a few hours a day. I don't think the conditioning is what we used to see in the old days, man.
No, it's, what was it? It's from 4 to 6:30?
Right. So what do?
They're at day camp.
Right.
It's day camp. The wives are sending their husbands to Browns training camp. Go to day camp. Have fun.
Yeah. And it's not only the Cleveland Browns. If you look around the entire NFL, the scope of injuries that take place, I think, there's no hitting at training camp like there used to be.
No, not at all.
You remember last year Hayden got bitched at by Pat Shurmur when he took down the receiver in the end zone.
Yeah.
There's no hitting, and that hitting is part of conditioning, man.
It's like I talk about this all the time. The NFL and the NBA are not what they used to be.
No.
In the late 80s, 90s, that was when football was football and basketball was basketball. Nowadays, you even look at the quarterback wrong, you get penalized.
Right.
What about in the 80s when the receivers that Buffalo receiver, was it Don Beebe, came over the center of the field, and a hand from those guys flipped him over on his head onto his neck. In this day and age, they get a 15-yard penalty for it.
Absolutely. It's just, like I said, but I think a lot of people are bitching we shouldn't even have preseason football. Well, that's wrong, too, because preseason football has been in existence since the beginning. And, the injuries aren't because of the preseason football game. It's because of the
conditioning.
Right. It's because of the new conditioning and the way that these guys are out of condition.
I mean, if it was up to me, and this is my honest God truth, I think we should go from 4 to 2 and put in 2 more games in the season, or even a game extra in the season. And I'm saying this for all you season ticket holders down there at the stadium. I know how it is to have to pay for 2 extra tickets for a preseason game that you don't even want to go to. They should be half price.
Right.
I mean, seriously, why are we paying full price to go see two games where it's your starting quarterback and everybody for the first quarter, maybe the second, and then it's garbage the rest of the night?
Right.
I mean, I had more fun at Family Fun Night than I did at the game. Oh, actually, still the streaker came out. That was a pretty good time.
Yeah.
He even shook some Detroit players on that run. 90 yards without getting caught. Somebody needs to sign you right now.
Yeah, maybe we could use him could he catch the football?
Hey, just put it in his hands, let him run.
Right. That's what we need.
I mean, he did. He made it. He jumped in at the 10 and made it to the other side. He scored a touchdown before they got him. And they didn't even tag him. They tripped him. He bounced off 2 Detroit Lions players.
What happened to that guy, man? Did you ever follow
he got trespassing and all kinds of crap. You know how it is.
Yeah.
Hey, honestly, I was drinking so much, I thought when I made the news, I thought it was me. We won, so that's all that mattered to me. We had a good time down there tailgating.
Well, that's all that counts, man. A win's a win, and we got to take them any way we can get them. And that's why the Cleveland fan base was so excited with the 2 wins this preseason.
Well, here's the thing. What I like about this front office is, and even a lot of the new executives they brought in, they understand what Browns football is. North Turner understands it. Jajiski understands it. Horton understands. Everybody in that office understands what we want. They understand the tradition. A lot of these Shurmur didn't care.
No,
Holmgren didn't care. He wanted to pay a check and try to show you, hey, I can still do this. These guys know.
That's what he did. He collected a paycheck. Is that what you're referring to? Where I could still do this?
Right. I can still.
You notice he's not working now anywhere in the NFL.
No, not at all. But I'm just saying is they understand who we are as fans, who we are as Browns backers, and they understand our city, and they know that we want to win. We do not want to be the laughingstock no more.
And that's what pisses me off so bad. And people don't understand it, man. I was lied to last year, and I know the regime's gone, but I was lied to by the Cleveland Browns president who took Brandon Weeden, who forced Tom Heckard to take Brandon Weeden in the draft, and then he came out and he promised us we were going to have a better season in 2012. And we got lied to, man. That pisses me off. Don't lie to me.
You're right. That's the one man I wish that was still here was Heckard. That man can draft. And if you guys tell me he can't, look what he put on the field for you for the last few years. The offense hasn't been great, but his defensive picks have been awesome.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
He's got a great track record.
He's got an awesome track record.
Anybody that says he doesn't is a liar, man.
That's true.
That's
true.
exactly how you put it out there.
He can run circles around Lombardi any day of the week when it comes to drafting players.
Oh, Lombardi. We didn't even want to see Lombardi come back to Cleveland, did we?
No, I didn't.
He's put some real eggs on the field, man.
Yeah, he has.
I just heard, what was his name, Jamarcus Russell?
Yeah.
He just got shit canned out of his comeback attempt because the weight he took off, he started to gain it back, and he couldn't control his diet. And so his...
Really? When did you hear this?
Just today, man.
I know he was working with Jeff Garcia and those guys. He was down to like 270 pounds.
Right, but he's starting to creep back up to the 300 marker already.
Already.
So, there's a boy that can eat.
Hey, I remember watching a video of him being at LSU throwing a 70-yard pass from his knees.
Oh, the guy had the talent, man.
Oh,
he just,
He still has it if he would just be smart about it. That's the problem with you NFL players. You got to be smart. Jamarcus Russell, Aaron Hernandez.
Hernandez. His days in the NFL are long gone. He'll never be back.
He'll never see sunlight.
No, he's never.
I'm just saying, I mean...
for the next Longest Yard movie, they'll use him.
But see, now look, Heckard would have never picked those guys up. So that's what I like about Heckard. You guys, Lombardi, do your homework. Heckard's going to run. He's going to. Was he in Denver now?
Denver, right.
Yeah, I just saw him. He caught a DUI or something.
Right, he did. He caught a DUI. The altitude, you probably got to drink less when you're in Denver. You're up a mile high.
You might have to drink more
sake.
up there in Denver, too, though. But then again, look at the team they're fielding. They're fielding something pretty nice.
So, final predictions for the 2013 Browns season.
I'm going 8-8.
8-8, he says.
8-8.
Well, I'm hoping we get 6 wins, man, but I don't even think we're going to get 6 wins.
I'll even drop that. I'll go 7-9.
Now, I want to see 9-7, but
I'd love to see 9-7.
I'll be lucky if we get 6 wins this coming
season.
season.
500 LG, I'll be happy. 8-8. 8-8's an improvement.
Don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, Paul Latkovic, president of the Berea Browns backer. If you're looking for a place to kick off your 2013 NFL Cleveland Browns football season, join us September 7th from 5 to 8 at Scoundrels. You can find the Berea Browns backers on Facebook. Just go to the Berea Browns backers page and tell Paul you want to attend this pig roast. $25, all you can eat, all you can drink. Fox Lopez and his beautiful wife Lala will be there. The East Los Angeles Browns fans, all the way from L.A., coming for the home opener against the Miami Dolphins. If you haven't met Fox Lopez, come to this event. Pay the $25. It's for a great cause. Tell them the high school football.
Berea Mid-Park Titans.
We'll see you back here next week with more of the Cleveland. No, we won't. We're taking off Labor Day. We'll see you 2 weeks from tonight with more of the Cleveland Sports 360 show, and we'll be introducing you.
So you'll be back the day after the home game.
You got it.
Oh, boy.
You got it, man. So when we come back, we're bringing the beautiful Justina, the newest Cleveland Sports 360 Girl of the Month. Don't miss that show, ladies and gentlemen. Tomorrow night from 6 to 7 p.m., it's your man, Jeff Leaf, with the You Gotta Be Frickin' Kidding Me show. Go Browns, be safe. Prayer for a victory coming up here against the Bears so we can come in with a positive note into this season.
A positive note would be great for me. A win's a win.
Colt McCoy, don't forget, named the backup quarterback for...
Congratulations, Colt.
A Super Bowl contender. We'll see you next time right here with more of the Cleveland Sports 360 show. Thanks for coming, Paul Latkovic. It's always a pleasure to host.
It's always a blast to come with you.
The Berea Browns backers right here in the studio. God bless you. Good night.
Good night.